We Ain't Found Sith.
Warning, the following podcast contains speculation, which may be confused with spoilers, although it may also contain spoilers. You have been warned.
Hello, and welcome to We Ain't Found Sith, issue 66. My name is Eben, I am your host, and joining me today, producer Fungus,
Yoga Fire.
my co-host Pedro, and once again joining us to talk music, G Money in the house.
Hey everybody.
Hey,
All right,
G-Money.
all right. So I think it might be a bit of a long one today. So I think we're gonna forego all the niceties and all the pleasantries, and I think we're just gonna jump into it.
Do it.
We're talking movie soundtracks.
What?
Now, Johnny, you were here last couple of weeks ago when we talked movie scores.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed the topic so much, you said, you know what, we gotta do soundtracks next. So that's what we're focusing on today. We're not gonna go as deep as we did with music scores. We're going a little bit less because we actually, if Gus has worked everything out right, we actually have some audio to go along with this episode. You know, if the YouTube gods be friendly, then
Yeah,
we
man.
shall be able to. So, I guess before we jump into like our actual top threes,
By the way,
um,
I just want to mention that this is the first time we're ever streaming live on Twitch.
Okay.
yeah,
We're on Twitch right now?
Yeah, we're on Twitch,
yeah.
baby.
Whose account are we on? Because I don't know. I don't have a Twitch account.
We have a Twitch account. I set it up
We
today.
made we made a WAF's Twitch account.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Now
man.
that's gonna be cool with all the teenagers and stuff.
Yeah, we're
What are you
hip, right?
talking about, teenagers? I spend majority of my day on Twitch.
Well, so I guess if you're watching us on Twitch, welcome. This is issue 66. We are your friendly podcast hosts who like to, talk shit about things that are going on in the world of geekdom, and you'll find out today. So I guess before we get into like our actual top three, there were two rules that we put forth. Rule number one: no musicals. I mean, I understand. Yeah, musicals. There's some classic music out there. There's some great stuff, but it just, there's just way too many of them. I feel like that's a genre unto itself. I feel like the movie soundtrack is something different than a musical. And number two, we call it the Pedro rule: only one Prince album per list.
That's not fair.
I know it's not fair. I had to make you choose something else. Because we know Pedro would have made like Purple Rain, Under the Cherry Moon, and Graffiti Bridge.
That's it. My boy knows the three movies.
There you go.
But no, it would have been Graffiti, but it would have been Batman.
I was gonna say man.
Actually, fun fact, that Batman album I don't think actually ever came out.
It was like limited release.
It was, yeah, because Prince got into it with Warner Brothers, and he was like, "Well, fuck it, I'm not giving you the music to release it." So,
Man,
guy was a badass.
He was legend.
Yeah. Anyways, so before we get into our top three proper, honorable mentions. Something that almost made your list that didn't. At the end, you just wound up cutting it out. Gus?
For me, Wild Style.
of course.
Yeah, man. Being a hip hop person that I am, if you love hip hop, you love Wild Style, man. That movie was like showing you that when hip hop first started becoming not just a thing out of the South Bronx, like nationally, the monster that it ended up becoming, and the back in the days of Run DMC and LL Cool J when they started going on tour and all that stuff, and that's when that movie kind of blew up and showed you those days. So early days of hip hop.
I don't think I've ever seen Wild Style.
No?
I've seen Breakin' and Breakin' 2 Electric
Breaking
Boogaloo.
to Electric Boogaloo.
I've seen what's the one that was like the story of Def Jam, like starring Run DMC?
That's Wild Style.
Oh, is that Wild Style?
Yeah.
I thought that had a different name.
No, that's Wild Style.
That's what I say. Yeah.
That it's got Run DMC and it's got the
Yeah.
Beastie Boys are in there and it's got like basically the only person who doesn't play himself is
Russell Simmons.
Russell Simmons.
Yeah, that's oh man, what's that actor's name?
Isaiah Washington.
No, it's not Isaiah
Oh,
Washington. I'm just gonna IMDb it. I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah.
I know. I was trying to look it up.
Okay, so that was anything else to make your honorable mentions, Gus?
Purple Rain, obviously. I'm pretty sure all of us had Purple Rain up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't put it on my list just because I know y'all had it on your list. So
you omitted it because
yeah,
you're like,
just for the sake of redundancy. Black Panther made the list because that's honestly, I mean, it
made the list. Let's not.
No, it didn't make the list. It made my honorable mention list.
Oh.
I probably should have put it on the list, but fuck it. I wanted to go more nostalgic than current.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well. So your list is very telling about like basically like the genre that you're into.
Also, El Cantante.
Oh,
yeah. That's a good ass soundtrack, man.
Yeah, bro. El Cantante was dope as fuck.
Oh yeah.
I like this though because I feel like we're gonna get like a little bit of like a background into like what we like on a personal basis.
Yeah.
Pedro, how about you? Any honorable mentions that just quite didn't make your cut?
I don't know if this is a soundtrack, but the Sin City. I love the music from Sin City.
Yeah, that would be.
I just don't know if it was a soundtrack. Jane Silent Bob has probably the best soundtrack ever. I like all the music in that game. I mean that movie.
Okay.
Not a movie, but the Grand Theft Auto Vice City soundtrack is the greatest thing ever made.
Video game soundtrack's a genre unto itself.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I couldn't think of a movie, so I guess Scarface because it's literally the same thing.
There you go. All right, Gianni, how about you? Honorable mentions? Did it make your list?
Honorable mentions. I had the Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, obviously. Romeo and Juliet, man, I really like that soundtrack.
Romeo plus Juliet.
Yeah, like the Leo DiCaprio one. Dazed and Confused was my jam back in the day, and Singles, it was like the shit. I like Program all over the place, whatever. And then I put Purple Rain on there because had to put Prince in there somehow.
All right. Kill Bill was on my honorable mentions as well. I actually think of the Tarantino soundtracks, I think Kill Bill is probably my favorite. I know Pulp Fiction gets a lot of love. And in fact, if you go all over the internet, if you look at like top 10 lists and top 20 lists and all that, Pulp Fiction's all over that.
Yeah.
But I like Kill Bill more than I like Pulp Fiction. Other honorable mentions that got cut out of my list: Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Which it's kind of awkward because it's like, do you want to include it as a soundtrack? It's just a bunch of old songs. But then it's like at the same time, like the way they use it in the movies. Like, really.
I was gonna say the music, the way it comes together and stuff. Gus, I wanted to just quickly, sorry to correct you, but Crush Groove was the Def Jam one. That's the Def Jam one.
Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking about. My bad.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't Wild Style.
I was thinking of Crush Groove. I get those.
I was trying to think too, and I was like, man, and I just looked it up real quick to make sure.
Oh shit! I just remembered Baby Driver. Baby Driver had such a good soundtrack.
Baby Driver had a great soundtrack. Yeah.
Oh, Blair Underwood.
Blair Underwood. Yes, Blair Underwood. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But my bad. I was thinking Crush Groove.
Yeah. All the movies get real fuzzy because it's like, wait, is it that one or is it the same?
Yeah.
They have the same rappers are in it. They're all like 19 years old and stuff. So
for real. Oh man. Yeah. So you want to get the party started, Evan?
Just one last honorable mention before we go. Last minute cut that I had to cut when I found out we were only doing 3. Top Gun.
Ooh, you've lost that lovely feeling, Evan.
I did lose that love and feeling. But anyways, let's get right back on track on this highway to the danger zone, and we will we will get into our top three. We won't be jumping around this time because Gus has basically an order of things that he needs to kind of keep in order to make sure that we kind of.
I have an order of operations.
And number three. Yeah. Number three on my list, a little movie from 1986. Very hard to find. Never got a DVD release. Recently got a limited Blu-ray release that I missed out on because I didn't know about it, and I am pissed because now if I want to get it on Blu-ray, I gotta pay like $200 to some scalper on eBay. But it is a little movie called Rad.
Yeah.
1986 movie about BMX biking, and it is the prototypical 80s soundtrack. There's a title track montage at the beginning of the movie, set to a great song called "Break the Ice." You've got this song that's currently playing right now, which is your montage near the climax of the movie, where it is like our hero has to get through all the qualifying rounds in order to qualify to be in the race with all the pro BMX riders.
Bro, this song is rad, dude.
Yeah. And then obviously I didn't give the link to Gus because I figured it would be it's too way out there. High school dance scene where the hero of our story and Aunt Becky, who's like still like in her young and youthful days and like her early 20s, have a duet dance off on BMX bikes to the song "Send Me an Angel." I feel like just all in all, good fun. All in all, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and to this day, songs that I listen to.
Nice. So, there you go. Cindy said Garden State over here. Edwin commented track, which is a classic.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyways, man, so yeah, that's my number three is the soundtrack to the movie Rad. If you get a chance, right. The movie used to be available on YouTube. I think now there's chunks missing, but it's definitely worth checking out if you can get your hands on it.
Dope. All right, my number three is from Kill Bill. It's let me see if you guys recognize this song. I want you guys to guess the name of this song. Can you hear it?
Yeah. Please don't let me be misunderstood.
Yes, sir. This song is dope as fuck, son.
I can really hear it.
I'll turn it up a little bit. I just want to put it too loud so we don't have to like yell over it.
We don't want to get demonetized.
Here we go. Exactly. But yeah, man, the whole Kill Bill soundtrack is just super fucking dope.
Yeah.
Man, that they incorporate music from different genres and different cultures and shit like that. Like, this is like other shit, but mixed in with American pop music from like the 70s. It's super dope, man. I love everything about it, and the way that they use it in the movies.
Yeah,
it's tight as fuck. The way it goes with the scenes, kind of music. It's great, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
And the rhythm created that stuff, man. So
yeah. Gus, I think bad news is either your internet is not doing very well, or you streaming music while at the same time streaming yourself might be causing a little bit of a choppiness going on there, man.
Oh yeah, is it me? I'm choppy.
Yeah, right now you're pixelated. At least on my screen you are. So.
Okay.
So
I'm pretty sure my brother's watching basketball on our internet.
Okay. Why don't you just tell him to put on TNT?
He wants to be a little audience thing.
Yeah.
All right. So Kill Bill, a great soundtrack. Like I said, was one of my honorable mentions. Gianni, you said it was one of your honorable mentions as well.
Yeah. Man, that was like the first time that Tarantino got him to kind of like curate the soundtrack, and it was just amazing, man. So.
Yeah. And honestly, like just that blend of like how you go from like Japanese samurai film into old school Western,
Yeah.
which are two genres that are they're very much intertwined. You
Yeah.
know, like the classic samurai films, like when you think of like the classic directors, like Kurosawa, very much inspired by like the old Western directors like Robert Ford, and then vice versa. Then you get like when you get to like the spaghetti westerns and Sergio Leone, very much inspired by Kurosawa. So it's a great like kind of they feed off of each other and stuff like that. And that movie just takes those two genres together and just kind of it does a good mixture of that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Also, that song that you played, Gus,
Yes.
1970s disco song. So it's not like it was a. Oh, is that Pedro's number 3 playing next?
My number 3. Well, it's not my number 1, but we could.
You ready?
Don't,
You ready for Lope's number 3?
I'm right. I mean, you're playing the music. We can jump into Lopez's number 3.
I'm not.
that's not
I'm
3.
yet.
That's number 1.
That's your number 1.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, Gus, you jumped the gun a little bit.
Oh well.
I actually
mean,
tried to change my number 3, but I guess it's too late.
But yeah, so I mean, just to finish up, like Kill Bill, all of Tarantino's movies, great job curating soundtracks, and I think that's because supposedly he writes his scripts with songs in mind.
Yeah.
So
he has like his own record collection when he's writing scripts and stuff, like playing through stuff. So
yeah,
it's a good way to do things, man.
All right. So
here we
Pedro,
go.
Yeah.
you're number 3.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, bro. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I was gonna go with SLC Punk just because I love punk, but I went with this one because I didn't know how we would incorporate just random artists in a playlist. So yeah, this one, the Sex Bombs, is all over the freaking album, and all their songs I think on that album are really good. And that one's Threshold. That's when they're fighting the Asian twins.
Ah, yes.
That song is so dope when they're doing that back and forth battle of the bands thing. Yeah, but that album, I think that movie excelled in visuals and music. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's what that movie did the best.
Yeah.
The movie's a lot of fun, bro.
Some people didn't
Also,
like that
they
movie.
got back to write the original songs. So
Yeah. I was gonna say some people that I talked to remember when it first came out, like they didn't like it, and I was like, man, I wasn't even like familiar with the comic books and stuff, and I just thought the movie was cool, and I love movies that are pushing the boundaries visually and whatever else. And that was like when I saw it, I was like, damn. And I'm a musician, so for me, like the connection of that was like I had no idea what Scott Pilgrim was about. That it was basically music was involved anyway. So for me, I was like, this is a dope movie.
Yeah.
And then I kind of got familiar with the storyline a bit more, but I thought it was just cool as hell.
And
I was going to say also shout out to Brie Larson because
I do like that song.
That movie. What year did it come out? It came out like in the late 2000, maybe early 2010s.
I want to say that was like 11 or 12. No,
Exactly. That was during a time where garage rock bands were dead, and they made a whole movie with a band that's just a garage band playing like the most unfucking like completely untapped, not untapped, just raw instruments. And I don't know. I really like that garage sound.
2010, Pedro.
2010. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Lopes, I just saw your message telling me to change it to
Change the SLC Punk.
My bad, bro. This is why we got to do things ahead of time, man.
Yeah, I just remembered it right now. I'm like, oh shit, SLC Punk.
Yeah.
It's organic, man. It's organic. It's fun.
Organic.
Yeah. Exactly.
Free flowing.
My turn, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
So number 3 soundtrack was from The Crow, the original Crow movie. There was some sequels and stuff, but the original Crow movie had some badass music on it. Pantera and Rage Against the Machine and like Rollins Band, The Cure, 9 Inch Nails. It was like all these bands that were kind of goth, kind of metal, a kind of piece of stuff. And I loved it, man. I love the movie. It's a shame that Brandon Lee, passed during that movie and stuff, but the movie was great, and the soundtrack just made it so much better. I used to play that CD out like a lot. So, you're gonna play the song, Gus?
Yeah.
Yeah, the song Gus is gonna play is my favorite Rage Against the Machine song of all time, that happens to be on that soundtrack. It's like a deep cut. Like not everybody knows about that song, and it's just a dope song.
Yeah, man.
And it starts off like as
Rage is known for having like title songs in people's soundtracks, man, because they were the title song in The Matrix too, right?
Yeah.
They were like the main song. I don't know what you call it.
I think they were the end credit song.
They were the end credit song. Yeah, you know, when you think of fucking The Matrix, that's what you think of.
They used You're a Boomerang in Higher Learning. John Singleton. Yeah. So they've been in some movies and stuff, man.
Yeah, man. Rage. I love Rage. Rage is my favorite rock band of all time.
Dude. And this song in particular is like, I was talking to Gus about this like a couple months ago, but it's like, it goes from this kind of jazzy feel to this kind of heavy hip hop feel. Then like the guitar solo reminds you that Tom Morello is actually a really dope guitarist, not just, you know, making scratch noises and stuff. It's actually a really good guitarist playing sweeps and crap. And the drummer, even, you know, the drummer, the bassist, they're in the beginning, those jazzier parts, you could hear the musicality in there, you know, that are not just those riffs and stuff they're always playing. So it's kind of cool that drew me, you know, to that song from the beginning. And I love that song, man. And the message is like super, you know, conscious about like stuff going on, political stuff going on in that time, which still actually applies and stuff. So I love that song, man.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Abing.
All right. So I feel bad because I cut out Top Gun. But Kenny Loggins still made my list. And my number 2 is, I mean, if you're talking about movies and you're talking about music, I mean, I kind of feel like the two things that go really hand in hand. This movie's got to be somewhere on your list. And I'm waiting for the musical cue, Gus.
Sorry.
There you go.
What is it? Is there an ad playing or something?
No.
Oh, there we go. It's Footloose.
Yeah. Right. Tell me why this song. This is pretty random.
Why this song? Just the title track. It's the opening of the movie. Another classic opening montage. Who I don't know who came up with the idea, but whoever said, let's just start the movie by playing the Kenny Loggins title track and just close up of people's feet while they're dancing. I mean, that's a classic, iconic image. But again, I'm not basing my selection off this one song.
So what is it about the sound, the entire soundtrack that really speaks to you?
Again, man, when we're talking about like just combining songs with like movie moments, you know, whether it's the opening title track with Footloose, whether it's, you know, I'm blanking on his name, Kevin Bacon teaching his buddy how to dance to Let's Hear It For the Boy.
You know, for a really long time, I thought Kevin Bacon sang this song.
He does sing though, right? He does like have music out and stuff.
He's in a band and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's play chicken on tractors while holding out for a hero. I mean, just the number of like iconic like movie moments like combined with like I feel like whoever made this movie was like, we're just gonna make a series of music videos to tell a story. Like,
yeah,
you know, and I fucking love it, bro. It's the soundtrack instantly takes me to my childhood, instantly associated with happy memories, and just, I mean, all around, you know, it's somewhere deep in my heart. You know, I just want to be free and dance, do some gymnastics in an abandoned warehouse somewhere.
Yeah, wear some leg warmers.
No, that's Flashdance.
I mean, why can't you put on leg warmers? Same time, same era.
I always confuse those two. I'm like, Footloose, no, Flashdance. Oh man, no.
Same shit.
One is I'm like 80s movies about dancing. You know, whatever.
I'm looking. I mean, I'm looking at the music video now because that's what I'm streaming it from, and I just saw this going on with legs and leg warmers. So,
well, yeah, because it was the 80s. So all the '80s fashion all the '80s foot fashion is on display in that opening sequence.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's my number 2 is Footloose.
Nice. All right. My number 2 is actually pretty funny because the name of the movie is the title of a song from an era that they were trying to portray, but the actual song is not in the soundtrack, and that is yeah, and that's Dazed and Confused.
Oh.
Yeah. So I picked Foghat because I like this song.
It
But,
reminded me of Jim Carrey, man.
Of Jim Carrey?
when he went to the VMAs dressed with
Oh yes.
all of the year, and he's like, "Would it kill you to play some Foghat?"
Yeah. That guy's the best, man. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
man.
But yeah, man. I think if you love classic rock, then this soundtrack is perfect for you. You know what I mean? It's every single song on this soundtrack is tells a story about that whole era and how people fucking rolled in those days. You know what I mean? Like the kind of music that was really thriving in those days for a particular group of people. Not obviously there was like
Yeah.
other kind of music out there, but yeah, man. I think if you're a classic rock fan, man, that soundtrack is for you. Go check it out. And it's funny because the movie's called Dazed and Confused. Obviously, Led Zeppelin was probably like the biggest band in that era of music, but they're really stingy about letting people use their music in movies.
Yeah.
So they
probably couldn't afford that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
like a low budget movie with like Ben Stiller and McConaughey and some other people that were like just starting out.
Yeah, Jason London.
Yeah,
Jason London was the main character in that movie, and fucking yeah.
Yeah, like they couldn't afford that. They were like, we'll just call it Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Another movie soundtrack, and you like that era of music? Almost Famous.
Almost Famous. Yeah.
Almost Famous made my list. Almost made my list at a certain point also.
Yeah, man. They're Almost Famous is doing a reunion. You know how like all these different. Yeah,
well,
Almost Famous doing a reunion, right?
Well, I saw they did a reunion with Kate Winslet and Billy Crudup and the director, but like Jason Lee wasn't there and stuff like that. So the guy that played the kid still looks the same.
No way.
He's a little bit older, but he still looks like he's still clean shaven. He's still he's aging well.
That's pretty funny.
So who was your favorite character in Dazed and Confused?
In Dazed and Confused, my favorite character. Let me think. Not the super stoner guy, but he's really funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious. But no, it wasn't him. I don't know, man. I want to say. Oh man, what is this actor's name? He's like the only Jewish guy in the movie.
Oh yeah.
The guy that gets punched in the face.
He's the Hebrew Hammer, man.
Schwartzman? Or?
Yes, yeah, the Hebrew Hammer.
Hebrew Hammer, man. What's his name right now, man? I'm trying to let me look him up real quick.
He's so like he reminds me of Bernie Sanders. I don't know why. I think his character is really funny.
Adam Goldberg,
yeah. I really liked his character, and I feel like him as an actor, I feel like he did the best job portraying who that person was at that time. You know what I mean? And that guy, he's a serious actor. Like except for the Hebrew Hammer. He does good work.
What are you talking about?
Comedies too.
He was a fucking badass.
Yeah, no, that guy does a lot of good work, man.
Yeah, Hebrew Hammer's my jam. I love it.
I want to take a brief pause for a moment. Who in the chat mentioned The Pest, the John Leguizamo movie?
Just throw out a guess.
Louis.
Is that Louis?
Of course, that's Louis.
Okay.
Louis, stop commenting from our page. Comment from your own fucking profile, bro.
Yeah, dude. Fuck.
When you say, our comments are our own, not like not associated with whatever. Like no, Louis throwing out that all.
Yeah. Louis trying to comment under our name.
Exactly.
Man, but it's funny that he mentioned The Pest. I do love that intro song. Like that is one of the funniest things ever.
I like to.
Louis doesn't know how to switch.
I'm ridiculous.
Like a booger, I'll stick to this. Take a look at this. One
I never-
sticky
I saw it
icky,
before.
two sticky icky,
My God, Pedro knows it even more.
I know that whole fucking
Real.
song, bro.
Oh man.
All right, Lopes, you ready for yours, dude?
Number 2, Easy
Number
Sauce. Just play it. Everyone knows this.
There we go. Talk about it, Lopes. I want you to talk about it without giving it away until it gives itself away. He's gonna give it away.
Yeah, it's everyone knows.
Everyone knows what Lopes likes.
Let's just do this. Can you guys guess what number 2 would probably be if it's coming from me?
Well, seeing as I think you already gave away your number 1, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say it's Purple Rain.
That's a good
How
guess.
about you, G? How about you, G Money?
Sorry, I missed the question. I was answering something real quick.
Do you?
Guess Lopes number 2.
His number 2, man, I don't know. James Silent Bob, Strike Back.
Close.
Close.
It's
kind of.
close. I got a funny tidbit about that after. No, it's Purple Rain, and of
Oh,
course
okay.
the song Purple Rain. 'Cause how not? You know how not? It's the
Yeah,
greatest song on that album. But no, Darling Nikki is also pretty fucking good. But every fucking song on.
I don't know if we could play Darling Nikki and not get well, I mean, we are tagged explicit, but
True, yeah, we're cursing all over this shit. So.
You definitely can.
Yeah. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
every fucking song.
I don't mind them saying fuck, but when you hear Prince moaning in the background, that's a little too far.
Well, then just scratch off every single Prince song because I think he moans in all of them.
What is your
Yeah,
favorite
man.
part of this song, Lopes?
That part.
What he just said.
No. It's not that. When he goes, that means you too. I don't know why I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love that part.
Yeah.
Man. So I love that like second verse. Like the beat, like the bar starts and he doesn't come in until like fucking 3 beats later. He's like, like the chord hits bong, and he's like, I never meant to cut. It's like super delayed.
It's awesome. But no,
You see
honestly, my favorite part of that song is the solo at the end. The solo is gorgeous. The way he goes
dude.
that solo.
Oh yeah, and when he starts going,
Yeah, man.
That
Everything
part,
about that shit is so good. No,
That
everything
part.
about that shit is so good.
Part.
No, but like honestly, can you guys think of an album, like a music album that like is just pure hits? Like the only thing off the top of my head I could think of is Nirvana Nevermind. But like it's Purple Rain, Nirvana Nevermind. I can't really think of like maybe Led Zeppelin 3. No, not 3, sorry, 2. But you know, or Led
Michael
Zeppelin
Jackson's
5.
Thriller.
It's not a lot of, and then on top of this is a movie soundtrack, which is even crazier because I can't think of a movie soundtrack that just nails on every song.
Well, you see, I feel like with a movie soundtrack, you could cheat. Because with a movie soundtrack, you can make the movie after all those songs were already number ones, and then just make your movie.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
still, even if a song's number 1, doesn't mean it's going to be everyone's taste. But like, I think this is like unanimous. I think everybody likes Purple Rain. Like, I haven't heard anybody say, "Oh no, that song sucks" on Purple Rain. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I've never heard anybody be like, "No, that song on Purple Rain, that shit sucks." Nah, it doesn't. I've never heard it.
No,
And,
man,
like,
and even that album being from like 84 or something like that, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how well produced it is. And I mean, there's the remastered versions and stuff now that obviously sound better and whatever. But even just the original version of it, how like clear it all sounds, you know, for being from that time. Like, you know, it's like Gus and I was talking about this kind of nerdy stuff on our own about some albums that just cut through really clear from like 1992 or 19, you know, that aren't like, they don't sound like they're dated, you know, they sound like really big. And,
Rage Against the Machine's album is like that, bro. Like their first album, how does it sound like they recorded it with today's technology? Like, it's amazing.
Well, that's I honestly I think there's a couple of factors that go into that, but like I think it's because starting in the late 90s, like everything used to be like the band would record in the studio, the band.
Yeah.
And then eventually they just started recording like all the instruments individually.
Yeah.
You know. And then B, I can't think, at least when it comes to rock, I can't think of any like significant like genres that have emerged in the last 30 years.
Oh, there's been a
Like
lot.
we had grunge in the 90s, and then everything just kind of became almost uniform.
No, it's because we don't like it, but there's a bunch of genres out there
There's
now.
a bunch of stuff out there, man.
There's a
I
bunch
was,
of subgenres of everything.
I was talking to Gus recently, like I on to some rappers that I just kind of discovered that aren't really that new, but just people that I was kind of like disappointed with rap for a while, whatever, and I was finding these newer guys, and I'm like, damn, these people are pretty dope. So there's hope for that, but,
And I will give that hip hop has had some like definitive like different genres in the last 20 years that you can definitely say, okay, well this is this kind and that is that kind. But I feel like as a rock fan, like if I'm looking for something different, I gotta go out of the United States.
Well,
Like,
no, man. It's just like it's just different subgenres that we create, and that's everything, honestly. Like rock or punk rock, for example. That's the one I know the most of. Punk rock evolved from rock and roll. It's just a faster tempo.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's rock and roll, like Elvis rock and roll, just with a higher tempo. Like the chords are all the same.
Like the blues is rock and roll in its purest form, and then rock and roll took the blues and sped it up, and then punk sped it up even more, and metal, whatever. If you like metal and rock and that kind of stuff, like progressive rock, progressive metal stuff that's out there right now is pretty dope, man.
Yeah, Polyphony, it's really good.
What's the other guy's name? Polyphony is one of them, one of the bands, and there's another guy.
Animal as Leaders.
Leaders is dope.
Opeth is still killing it.
The band that apparently has been around for 20 years, and I only discovered them during quarantine, is Nightwish, which is like symphonic metal from like the Netherlands, which is just freaking amazing.
If you like Ghost, because Ghost is like pretty dope stuff.
Go. I do kind of like Ghost. It's kind of hard because like I'm not driving anywhere, so like I used to like find out about new bands and stuff like that, like through my XM subscription.
Yeah.
And like I'm too lazy to like download the XM app and like actually listen to my XM radio on like my computer and all of that. So like since I'm not driving anywhere, I'm not listening to Octane and stuff like that. So it's like
I mean, we remember when I was telling you about baby metal? Baby metal is kawaii metal, which is a brand new subgenre of metal. And then the Who, HU, that's a subgenre of metal also, which is Mongolian metal, which is so like there's constant new shit coming out.
Right, but again, like you've just named bands that are not American.
Well, I mean, technically, what's American? We created only rock and roll.
As in, the people who are in the band are from the United States.
All right.
By the way, just to bring it back to Purple Rain, my favorite part of that music video is just looking at the people in the audience, man. People in that time, bro, they dressed like they were already living in the fucking year 2500 or some shit like that. They dressed so futuristic. Like,
it's funny because it's like it's retro, but it looks futuristic.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, we heard y'all were filming a futuristic movie today, so I came dressed like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why that Chappelle skit is so on point, because Chappelle skit with the Prince stuff is like all the outfits and stuff are like the wardrobe stuff. They got it right, so it makes it even funnier.
Exactly. Oh man! All right, Johnny, are you ready for your number 2?
Who does number 2 work for? Sorry, I had to. Number 2, the soundtrack for the movie Judgment Night. I love that soundtrack. That song that's playing is Dinosaur Jr. with El the Funky Homo Sapien. It was even before I saw the movie, I saw that song performed on the Arsenio Hall show. I was like 12 or something, and I was up late, whatever, watching it, and I was like, "Yo, this is dope." It's like this rock band I'd heard of and this rapper I'd heard of, and they were, coming together for this. And fun fact, Mike D from the Beastie Boys was playing drums on this track when they do it on Arsenio Live.
Shit.
Cool. But,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I remember Arsenio, I just watched it yesterday again, but he says like from the upcoming movie, Judgment Night, blah, blah. And then, so I watched that video and was like, "Yo, this is dope." And then like the soundtrack came out shortly after, and I went and got it, not knowing anything else, but I saw the ad for it in a magazine that said like Cypress Hill and Pearl Jam. I was like, what? Helmet, House of Pain. I was like, oh shit, Slayer and Ice-T. Ice-T had just done that body count stuff, you know. So I was like, yo, this is dope as hell. And I popped it in. I think I had the tape maybe or a CD. I don't remember. And man, it was just bangers the whole time, and it was ahead of its time because there was the rap rock genre stuff like Limp Bizkit and whatever else hadn't really happened yet. There had been some songs,
I just looked it up. 1993.
93, yeah, man. So they had before that there was like Run DMC with Aerosmith, and there was Public Enemy and Anthrax. There was some songs out there, but it wasn't like
Rage.
It had just started to come out and stuff. But this band, this album kind of put all these people together that really just made some dope songs. And the Helmet song is heavy as hell. With House of Pain on it, whatever, and like this song is dope, and it was just such a cool, mix of bands. The movie was all right; it was pretty good. I watched the movie a few times and stuff, whatever. But the music was just like.
I just looked it up, and I gotta see this movie because I feel like it's one of those movies that's like bad but good.
Yo, the plot is like ridiculous. Emilio Estevez and his homie get lost in like the bad part of LA.
Let me give you the synopsis. It is an American action thriller film starring Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., Jeremy Piven, and Stephen Dorff as a group of friends on the run from a gang of drug dealers led by Dennis Leary.
Yes.
What the fuck?
I forgot about it. Was Dennis Leary's the villain, man?
Oh man,
I liked it too because Dennis Leary was doing those MTV spots where he would, hey, whatever, and he would talk all this shit.
Does he go on like an evil tyrannical rant as a villain, but like in that Dennis Leary
style?
Yeah,
a little bit. He was still he was like the hot thing at that moment, and he was doing those things on MTV, those little drops and whatever. So it was like funny because I was like, yo, this is a comedian and he's playing the villain, but it was cool because after that he did more dramatic shows and whatever else and movies and stuff, but yeah, I remember now that you said Jeremy Piven. I was trying to remember who else was in it, man. But yeah, the plot sounds so silly, and whatever. They're like on the way to like a Super Bowl or some shit, or I don't know what, and they take a wrong turn on the freeway, and then like all hell breaks loose, and it's like it's just like the most ridiculous plot, But
I mean, first of all, it's Jeremy Piven, who's Jeremy Piven in everything. Like I don't think I've ever seen Jeremy Piven not be Jeremy Piven.
Exactly.
And
what is that movie where Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen are like garbage men?
Men at Work?
Man.
Oh, okay.
And they find like a dead body or something.
Yeah.
Man.
That movie's just fun because they're brothers playing brothers.
Exactly.
Oh man!
All right, Evan, you ready for your number one, Evan?
My number one's Purple Rain. I figured Pedro had the title track covered. So I thought I'd go a little something more fun. Obviously, just like just like Pedro said, but yeah, there's this Purple Rain, the album, and there's Purple Rain, the soundtrack.
Yes.
And the soundtrack has songs other than Prince on it.
Yeah.
And obviously, and I have a soft spot because of Jay and Silent Bob. But I said you gotta play for me Jungle Love, bro.
That was on the soundtrack? Jungle Love?
That is on the soundtrack. So this is another one of those things where like Prince puts out Purple Rain, the album, and then kind of gets into like a thing with the studio about a soundtrack coming out. But yeah, the soundtrack includes all the
Gianni,
stuff from
correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Morris Day and the Time music all written by Prince?
Yes.
Just about to say that. So that was one of the workarounds that he got with the label, something like that, where he was like, all right, we're putting other artists on this, but he ends up producing the whole shit anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. It's like Morris Day and Jerome, they have the Time have like 5 different albums, and all of them are made by Prince.
The last like 1 or 2 were not, because they kind of split ways and whatever, because they became their own group and all that stuff, and they had some falling out. But yeah, those first few records for sure. And
Johnny.
Yeah.
Remember that show that you told me to watch where it's like a famous artist telling a story, but they reenact it animated?
Yeah.
What's the name of that show again?
Fuck, bro. I got a tour bus.
Something tour bus. Tales from the Tour Bus, I think it's called, right?
That's
Something like that. A great
Yeah,
show,
yeah.
but the episode with Morris Day and Time is fucking amazing. He talks about everything that you're telling us right now.
And so what I've been saying that soundtrack had all those extra songs, but he got away with it because I mean, we all love Prince, and Pedro and I share that love for Prince for sure. But the dude was just so just ballsy from the get go, man.
Just ridiculously talented, just insanely talented.
Who the hell was he? And he's like 1979. He's like, I'm gonna make my album where I play all the instruments and I do whatever, and I'm gonna do promotion my way. And they're like, okay. And he blew up, And then by the time Purple Rain, he's already had bangers. He's already had stuff and whatever. And then he was the first like artist or whatever to win an Oscar for that. So like that soundtrack and like the movie, I think he won like a Grammy and Oscar, all that stuff for Purple Rain and stuff. So it was like a big deal. And he showed up to Oscars with like underwear and like a jacket or some shit,
Yeah. That's the chaps.
And then on top of that, this is a fun little story
the only sad thing about that story is that they never made Purple Rain the musical on Broadway, so he could have gotten the Tony for that too.
Would have been great.
Yeah,
would have definitely got the Tony for that. By the way, you said Jane Silent Bob. They used that. That's their favorite band. I'm pretty sure Eben knows this. But originally, Kevin Smith didn't want the Time. He wanted it to be Prince to be the favorite band. But Prince was like, nah, here, you could use this shit.
No, you're kind of right, but not entirely. The idea was that Jay and Silent Bob do love the Time. But the other thing was when Justice enters like the restaurant and he sees her for the first time, they wanted "Most Beautiful Girl in the World" to be the song that plays as she comes onto the scene. And Prince was like, "No, sorry, you're not getting it."
Oh, I thought their favorite.
That's fine.
I thought their favorite band was supposed to be Prince, but then Prince was like, "You can't use my music."
No, he wanted to have. He wanted both. He wanted the Time, and he wanted that "Most Beautiful Girl in the World" song. And Prince was like, "No, you can't have "Most Beautiful Girl in the World," but you can have the Time song.
All right.
There's a video on YouTube of Kevin Smith talking about when he was going to work with Prince.
Evening with Kevin Smith, Volume 2, I believe.
He was talking about some like he directed some video for him or something, and then it ends up being this whole like religious thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like, what?
Well, it was when he released like his Jehovah's Witness gospel album.
So Kevin Smith was like, "Wait a minute, what's happening? What
He was like literally directing like just people would sit down and he'd ask them what they thought.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense now, but in 30 years, it's gonna make perfect sense.
Yeah.
Prince was always ahead of its time, bro. He was just in 30 years, it'll be like, oh, that's okay.
Well, I love when Kevin talks about like it's like so like when is this gonna come out? And his publicist is like, probably never come out.
Yeah.
Like he does this all the time. Like he films things and records things, and they get locked up in the vault, and they never see the light of day.
Speaking of, they re-released Purple Rain, the definitive edition or whatever it's called, and it comes with I think 30 tracks as opposed to like 15 of the original. It's insane.
It's a lot.
Louis thinks Dumb and Dumber had a good soundtrack. I listened to it all the time as a kid. Okay.
Probably. I mean,
I don't remember what was.
I don't remember what was on it, but
I just remember Mark. Ing, yeah.
Sing.
Wait, was the Da 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 song on there?
Maybe.
Da Da Da.
Sounds like it would have been. Yeah.
You know what's funny though about the whole Prince Purple Rain thing? I like the Purple Rain album because I like every single track on it. But I think Under the Cherry Moon, the song Mountains is like one of his best produced songs, period. But that's only one song compared to like everything on that soundtrack. But I think that one song is like ridiculously good. It's like Purple Rain levels of good.
Yeah.
All right. My turn. For number one, I chose this one because Eben wanted to talk about something. I don't think we'd have enough time, so I was like, fuck it. We'll just talk about it during my... I
was like, it's got to make someone's list.
Yes.
I can
Also,
tell
you know,
why it didn't make my list.
also I love Michael Jordan, so you know.
Obviously.
Like I'll be honest, like it didn't make my list because like the biggest song from that album was not in the movie. It was during the title track.
I'm sorry.
My
You were
favorite
saying.
song on that,
I'm gonna go watch that when we're done. I just
that
got
song
my
was
Blu-ray edition.
that Monster song with like Method Man and what's the
It's in there for like 2
Monster,
seconds.
yeah. That Monster
It-
Strike is dope as fuck.
It's literally it's in there when the Monstars make their entrance into the arena, and then it
Mhm.
stops. Like it doesn't get more than like 15 seconds of airplay.
Nah, man, hit him high, hit him low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best song on that album.
They can't have it in that movie because you got like Method Man in there. You got all these people that they don't
Yeah.
want that shit. Disney, you know, a Warner Brothers movie. It's like
And yet-
just little hints,
And
and then
yet,
it's
if I
Exactly.
recall, the song is clean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, has to be
yeah.
clean if it's gonna be.
Like they
yeah.
knew it was going to be marketed. Like they knew kids
Yeah,
were going
yeah.
to buy that album. So I'm pretty damn positive. I don't remember there being any cursing in that.
Mhm.
it was just too like hard, you know, like too like these rappers, you know, whatever.
You can't you can't have Busta Rhymes and they're like ha ho ha, ha, you know.
And then
But it's a
and
kids movie. Of course, you can have Busta Rhymes in there doing that.
they're like, so what? Who we're gonna
Busta
have?
Rhymes
For
is
the,
just Tasmanian Devil. Like, come on.
I know. I'm gonna say who has the title song. They're like, who should we hire? Like, oh, let's hire the Quad City DJs.
Yeah, seriously, Quad City DJs. Okay.
Like, oh, okay, who had like
And
one?
No one will forget who the Quad City DJs are. They'll live forever.
Yeah. Yeah. But then remember, you also had R. Kelly on this, and that didn't age well.
That's true.
right?
That's flowers on it, right?
Yeah, I believe I can fly.
That song is kind of funny. If you listen to the lyrics and whatever, like it's like all
Yeah.
inspirational, but it's also kind of corny. Listen to it.
And not even I would say the title track because that's
Uh-huh.
like it's not the first song that pops up when the the credits start rolling. It's like the second song that plays when the credits are rolling.
Yeah.
That's how far into the movie it is. And it was the biggest hit from that movie, I would say. That and Seal, and those are the two credit songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just because
but-
people know how to like when you know in that time frame. Like we were talking about some movies that have like they knew how to use the music well, whatever. In the 80s, 90s, there was like a period of time where I think they were just like, let's have a really good soundtrack, but it has nothing to do with like how the movie is and whatever else. And, like stuff doesn't really, and then Tarantino comes along and is like, holy shit, we're back to doing this Western style or whatever, where we have this really important, Kubrick was doing that shit in the 60s and 70s, it's like we have this Kubrick, so it's just, I think that was in the 80s and 90s, it was kind of just like, let's get the hottest artists right now, pop artists, whatever. They're gonna do the title song.
Yeah.
So that's why all the Disney movies have like Elton John and whoever else, is because they're just throwing those people.
But one of the things that I love, so what I love about the '80s is like, let's get an artist who's like a top artist, like a Kenny Loggins, and then we're gonna tell him what our movie's about, and let's have him write some songs for the movie. Kenny, this is a movie. It's about the guy's a fighter pilot in the U.S. Navy. Oh, okay, I can come up with some stuff. Comes up with Highway to the Danger Zone. I think he's got a couple of other tracks on that album too.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the things when you look at '80s soundtracks. A lot of times you have like artists with more than one song on a soundtrack. When we get to the '90s, it stops so much becoming that, and maybe you get somebody to do like a track for you.
Yeah.
But the rest of it is just like, let's just take existing music that exists in our catalog and let's use that. So that's how you get like singles.
Yeah.
Is the movie company is like, wait, we have a music company that we own. Here's an entire library of everything that we own, and you can pick and choose whatever you like from that. And then it takes somebody like Tarantino to come in and go, no. When I wrote this, I was thinking of this specific song. Let's reach out and let's see if we can get the rights to that song.
Yeah.
But that even then, it's like how many movies come out nowadays where like they actually write. Like I feel like Black Panther was maybe they maybe tried to do that, but I don't know how successful they were, or they just wound up reusing a lot of stuff that was already existing.
Black Panther is an amazing soundtrack. I'm pretty sure every song on that soundtrack was created for the movie. Like, and Kendrick Lamar was the executive producer on that.
Yeah,
I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was. There's more like of that again nowadays because it's gone kind of up and down.
Yeah.
And yeah, that soundtrack is one of those examples that like they hire artists, the current artists to do songs for the movie, that kind of thing. And you have someone like Kendrick curating the whole thing, then it makes sense. Not just some like person that's in charge of the soundtrack, whatever. That's why like when Tarantino hired the RZA, me as a Wu-Tang fan, I was hyped. I was like, hell yeah, because and what was good about it was that the RZA didn't use any of his music, only that one Oranishi song, and that was it. Right, like it was purposely like his moment to be like, all right, let me show y'all what I know musically. All those samples you hear and all the Wu-Tang stuff, those deep cuts, that's what he was going on, right? So I think that Tarantino trusted that and whatever because he's that artist. But peace to the gods. But I think a lot of those 80s and 90s movies, they didn't really have that. And it's you mentioned singles. I don't know if you're talking about the movie singles or just singles like songs.
The movie singles.
Yeah, the movie singles actually. What I liked about it was that it was like the label and whatever, but they had those cats in the movie. So like Chris Cornell's in there. Matt Dillon is like the main character, but he's like in a band with the guys from Pearl Jam and Chris Cornell and Allison Chains is in it. So like the soundtrack actually had songs that were in the movie, which was pretty cool. So it wasn't just like this random Pearl Jam song. It was like Citizen Dick or whatever was the name of the band.
Right, but for every singles that did that right.
Yeah,
you get like an Empire Records where they're just like, hey, what can we throw in here?
Right, yeah.
And it's no knock on Empire Records. I love Empire Records.
Yeah,
but it's just like
your point earlier about Guardians of the Galaxy, like where it's like songs that you've heard a million times, but the way they use it in the movie is what makes it different. Empire Records is like, okay, we're in a record store, they're gonna play some songs you've heard before and whatever, but they might not tie into like the storyline. But the way they did it in Guardians, and that's like, okay, I could see this fixing itself in the movie in a different way, and that's cool,
Yeah. I almost put This Is Spinal Tap on my list.
Oh, that's such a good one.
I would consider that a musical.
Yeah,
because all those songs are original.
Okay.
It is. It's a mockumentary. It's the first mockumentary of its kind, basically.
Right, but if we're talking about the soundtrack for that, I would consider the soundtrack for that almost like the same as like the soundtrack for a musical. It's all original songs, all sung by the cast.
Yeah, and people thought it was a real band.
Yeah.
Are you telling me Spinal Tap isn't real, bro?
They are now. I was gonna say we were talking about like what was going on with like the studios and all that. Kevin Smith himself, when he talks about how Clerks didn't have a soundtrack, and then as soon as the movie got bought up by a studio, they're like, have a pick, whatever you'd like to put from our catalog in your movie and all of that. And then when he was doing Mallrats, and Universal was like, oh, we have all of these bands that are up and coming bands that we'd like to promote in your movie. Like,
yeah. By the way, I put fucking Space Jam in my shit so that you can talk about Space Jam 2 that's coming out. You didn't even talk about Space Jam 2, you son of a bitch.
Well, we didn't really get we kind of sidetracked. We didn't really get a thing. I did see the uniform.
Yeah, what do you think?
Black. like send that uniform back to 1997 where it belongs.
Yeah, I mean, like when I see things like that.
You got an image? Can you throw an image up on the screen of that?
No.
Oh man. First of all, so okay, interesting question. So Quad City DJs does the intro song back to the original Space Jam. Who are the Quad City DJs today that you would have do the intro now?
Oh man, Quad City DJs of today.
I
don't know.
What's that band? BTS.
Oh yeah.
Kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
Terrible.
Terrible. Man, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to think of who else would do that. I just got a text from my wife saying that my son won't go to sleep and he's yelling "Ka-chow" like McQueen from Cars. He's an animal. But I'm trying to think of who today would be. I don't know. It'd probably be a rap group of some sort. One of those groups. But I don't know. I mean, having LeBron in it, I think LeBron is hipper than Jordan was. So maybe he would pick somebody, more like he'll probably have Drake on the album or somebody, people he's friends with and shit, because Jordan was cool, but like he was friends with like Michael Jackson. Like he was on some upper echelon shit. He wasn't even like into rap and shit, So I think that LeBron, I don't know who's going to pick on the soundtrack, but I think whoever he picks is going to be artists like that, There you go. That's not bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to
What
find
are you talking about? That's not bad. That's god awful. It's such an ugly. It's even off centered. It looks so bad.
You want to know what this looks like to me? This looks like a 1997, 1998 team from Arizona.
True.
That's fair. That's
with
fair.
with the teal and that orange yellow. Like I know that's supposed to be like I guess like the the circular logo thing from the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
But it's like it just looks weird and awful. Like it's like maybe if it was centered on the chest or something like that, it would be different.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna have enough outrage as like Sonic did for them to change it. So
yeah,
that's what it's gonna be.
The reason why, because no one cares anymore. No one cares about the Looney Tunes. It's just directly marketed to like people from the '90s. Kids today don't care about the Looney Tunes.
They're just gonna be like, "Oh, it's LeBron." And that's it. Like
exactly.
Right, making this movie so that people our age that loved Space Jam could take our kids to watch.
Yeah, but the reason why your parents didn't take you to see Space Jam because they loved Looney Tunes. You went to go see it because you loved Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is now they're probably reintroducing it because they know that they're like an afterthought. They want to reintroduce it to a new audience. So what better way to do that than to fucking bring in LeBron that everybody knows, even young kids today, to reintroduce the Looney Tunes to this new
but the only reason why the original was a success is because there was already a fandom for both of them, for Michael Jordan and Looney Tunes. Like kids now, what the fuck is Bugs Bunny? No one knows what Bugs Bunny is.
Looney Tunes was big because they would redo it all the time, and then you had like Tiny Toons and shit. You had a bunch of stuff that was Animaniacs. All that stuff was like Warner Brothers stuff that was like popping at the time, and now it's like
if they're smart, they'll use this as a catalyst to build momentum onto more Looney Tunes stuff. So, but if this is just the one off,
start dropping some new Looney Tunes stuff on HBO Max.
Also, is this real? Because I noticed that there's logos on the shirt. Why would they have Nike and whatever other?
It is real. I don't know if they'll be there in the movie.
No, I mean, is this like photoshopped or is this already?
No, this is a real thing. Like the director released it or something, right?
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's hideous, man.
Yeah, it's got the Nike logo.
At least he has the Miami Heat number.
Logo on the other.
At least he's rocking number 6.
That's right. True. That's right. Good catch there, Lopes.
Yeah. Because I think he made this. He was starting to make this movie when he was leaving the Heat or something like that. So maybe that's why. Because he's been
because he's been out of Miami for a while now.
But this movie has
probably for the same reason he wore number 6 in Miami.
But this movie is
because the Looney Tunes retired 23.
That could be it also,
yeah. Could be it. I was gonna say because I know that this movie's been kind of in talks with him for like years, and it's finally been they finally shot it and whatever else. So I know
rumors started when he was down here for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows? But
I'm just wondering who are the bad guys.
Monstars too.
Sorry, I don't know.
Because the Monstars at the end of the movie when they lose their basketball powers, they wind up joining the Looney Tunes because they don't want to go back to Moron Mountain. So like I'm wondering who are the new bad guys?
Oh shit!
That's hilarious.
And does Danny DeVito come back?
Or more important, Bill Murray. Who gives a fuck about Danny DeVito?
About that, yeah.
In a twist, the bad guy is voiced by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's playing the character of Danny DeVito's brother.
There you go.
Weren't they gonna make a twins movie like again or something like that? I remember
supposedly with Eddie Murphy as the third one.
Oh,
it was gonna be triplets.
I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like a new version with like new people or something. I thought.
Oh no, I always heard that it was gonna be the sequel, and they discover that there was a third baby in the experiment, and it was gonna be Eddie Murphy.
Oh man,
Because
that's what Eddie Murphy was doing.
Danny
whatever.
DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger, you got to if you're going the other direction, Eddie Murphy's a pretty wide way to go in that other direction.
Yeah, for
Like
real.
a nice triangle there.
Yeah.
All right, Lopes, I kind of fucked up your number one in the beginning of the show, but are you ready to talk about it now?
I mean, if anybody watches this show, they know what it is. It's Blues Brothers. I fucking love this. I love this opening fucking song. It's so good. Yeah. Wait, you can't even. Can you hear it? I can't hear it.
It's low. It's very, very
That's
low.
what I was doing the station.
We're trying not to get any kind of monetary strike, so we gotta keep the volume low just in case.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the something of the. I mean, oh, it's so good. Anyway, yeah, that's. I mean, how are you not gonna make like the greatest soundtrack with like everyone on there is a legend? There's not one person on there that's not a legend. You have Aretha Franklin. You have James Brown. You got fuck, I forgot. Chose Malone. What's his name? Malone, the saxophone player.
Fuck. I'm trying to remember right now.
Yeah, I can't
remember right now.
Oh, whatever. I forget the names. But all of them were like super talented blues and jazz musicians that they just made a fucking band off of. And I just want to listen to songs.
Actually, it was the Saturday Night Live band.
What?
It was the SNL band.
Originally, yeah, but like technically they were just a cover band for blues artists, but all the members were like super talented. On top of Dan Aykroyd and Belushi being really good blues musicians as well. Like Ray Charles is in it. That's right. They do the No, but I can't.
Well, it's just and let's take every single blues musician that's out there that we can find, and let's find a part for them in the movie.
Yeah,
I mean it's hard not to get success with that recipe, and yet Blues Brothers 2000 didn't do so well in the box office.
And I got just a part for it,
and I love it.
Yeah, they're not older brother, but like older foster brother is Cab Calloway. Like so fucking good.
Looking at the cast list and stuff, and I see like I'm just trying to remember who was in there, and what's his name? John Candy's in it. John Hooker,
Candy. Yeah,
the singer.
And I miss John.
Matt Murphy, the guitar dude.
Chuck Khan and Paul Rubens is in there. Joe Walsh is in there.
Chaka Khan.
Steven Spielberg is in there. A bunch of people in that.
I can't just say Shaka Khan's name. Just like I heard Chaka Khan.
Hilarious, man.
Yeah, man.
What's the saxophone player, man? I can't remember him.
I don't know.
Looking at it right now.
I'm blinking.
Was it Alan Rubin? No, that was the trumpet player.
Blue Marini is the saxophone player that's listed on the
Blue Lou Marini. Yeah, Blue Lou. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah,
bro. Lou Williams.
So good. That whole album.
My favorite thing about that movie is that it's called The Blues Brothers and it's two white guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
It's Chicago blues. What are you gonna do? It's not like real blues. It's the Chicago blues branch of blues.
Those movies were great and just like funny. I mean, if you rewatch some of those movies, man, there's definitely some stuff in there that's like completely inappropriate for nowadays and stuff.
Oh, of course. No, that movie. That's my favorite movie of all time till this day. I fucking love it. It has arguably one of the best car chase scenes of all time. Just the abundance of cars that they just threw away for that scene. It's stupid. It's like fucking. I think it was like 400 police cars that they just wrecked just for a fucking car chase. It was like insane.
Like a 2-minute long sequence and shit.
Yeah, it's so long. And then they have one car that they use a crane and put in the fucking sky and just drop it from the air just to destroy it for no fucking reason.
Just because he can, like,
Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
With Gus? So like
Yeah.
what the car jumps off of like an unfinished highway, which the trajectory would be like downward, but for some reason when it jumps off of the highway, it elevates and goes into the fucking stratosphere. And then they drop it from like stupid. It was like a Looney Tunes cartoon. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I love it.
Hidden ramp.
I love it. The hidden ramp.
It was so good. And it just drops from up there.
I mean, still not as ridiculous as Speed.
I think that movie's way more ridiculous than Speed, dude.
When the bus jumps the ramp on the highway, that is the most like cartoonishly.
Physics don't matter. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter.
like, we could do it, right? It's like, sure.
Yeah. All those movies take place in an alternate universe that physics are different.
Exactly.
The gravity's
The
Gravity's
cars
like-
make impossibly large jumps and always land fine, and the guns don't run out of bullets.
yeah.
And when John Belushi's character is in the phone booth and Carrie Fisher shoots a rocket at him and the fucking phone booth just skyrockets into the air. Then he lands like a rag doll and then he says, "Oh look, a quarter." And he just picks up a quarter. Like nothing happened. It's so good.
Oh, Lord.
I love that movie.
You're on a mission from Gad.
I'm on a mission from Gad.
Which, by the way, one of my favorite movie gags of all time is the obvious dummy landing replaced by like a live action person.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. That shit gets me every time. I start cracking up hysterically every time I see that.
Even if it's a serious scene and you're not supposed to crack up.
Exactly, 'cause it looks so ridiculous. Like the joints
like,
never match up.
It's two things that always make me laugh, no matter what. It's the ragdoll, and it's the person stepping off of a curb and immediately getting hit by either a bus or a truck or a garbage truck
That comes off screen.
If he's hit by a car, it's not as funny. But if he's hit by a massive, giant vehicle, hilarious.
The best recent thing that happened like that was in The Boys, man. That was like the best.
Oh yeah, where the guy just runs over the girl and just tears. When does that new season come out? By the way, does anybody know?
September, I think.
Yeah, that scene, like the teaser or whatever, and I was like, holy shit! Like I was like, oh my god! So that was like they one up to that one and the Meet Joe Black one. Meet Joe Black one, it's like
Meet Joe Black was classic.
No, Louis, that song is "You Can't Turn Me Loose." That's in the movie as well, but I don't think they use it in the beginning of the movie when they're running away from the cops for the first time, and they go through the mall. That's the song that's playing. Is "You Can't Turn Me Loose."
Nice. All right, G Money, you ready to bring us home?
Yes, sir. So my number one soundtrack pick was the Mambo Kings. Love it. That song I was playing right now is Sunny Ray. It's like a minute and a half, just crazy Latin jazz banger. I love it, man. It's so dope. The soundtrack is all full of obviously mambo and some salsa. It's not even really salsa. It's like Latin jazz, all sorts of old school sounding stuff. And Arturo Sandoval. Yeah, it's so good, man. Arturo Sandoval played on all those songs, man. So like, you could tell it's him, man. Like I know Gus and I are Arturo, so we could point him out in the song, but it's just like almost every song is him playing trumpet, leading the band, whatever. And it was like one of those projects where they hired the actors to do this stuff and they wanted to get it right, so they got proper musicians to do it. It wasn't like
that movie they got Tito Puente, Celia Cruz.
Everybody, they all make cameos and shit. What's his name? Arturo, not Arturo. What's his name? The actor. I'm drawing up.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas and Armando Sante.
He learned to play trumpet for that movie, so it's
pretty awesome.
Cool. Yeah, like he obviously doesn't play a lot of the harder solos, but he plays in I think the Maria song and some other stuff. He's actually credited and stuff. It's pretty cool. Plays some of the slower stuff and whatever. Yeah. But it was just me as a fan of music and jazz and Latin jazz and stuff. I remember hearing that album like, holy shit, it's this piece, and there's another piece that is similar to this one that's like really fast and just like it's over. So I was thinking of another song actually. Sunny Ray is one of them, but it's another one that's just a crazy crazy tune for the whole movie, and they perform obviously the movie, the songs and stuff. So it's fantastic. Man.
All right.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Okay, so correction for Louis. He asked if it was Briefcase Full of Blues. That's where that song is on. It's not on the actual soundtrack, apparently, because I just looked it up. That song is on
But it's in the movie.
It's in the movie, but it's not on the soundtrack that you could buy. It's on Briefcase Full of Blues for some reason, and it's not on the soundtrack.
I'm sure there's like a deluxe edition of the Blues Brothers soundtrack that includes it.
Probably, but it is in the movie.
But yeah, man. That soundtrack, the Mambo King soundtrack. I'm taking a quick look at it right now, and it's just Celia Cruz, Tito Puente, Arturo Sandoval. They throw in Linda Ronstadt's in there.
I really like that Linda Ronstadt song, man.
Yeah,
Benny Moshe.
She's Hispanic, bro.
Yeah,
Los Lobos. Like, I mean, that's a who's who of like Latin American music of like the 70s and 80s right there, and then obviously Linda Ronstadt, superstar artist. Los Lobos were huge in the 90s. So yeah, man.
Go ahead and send that Linda Ronstadt song to your special lady out there.
There you go. Oh man, I'm just looking at the list, and I think like I'm seeing names that I haven't thought about in a while. Dalisa Soto is in that movie, who I had a huge crush on as a kid.
Are the songs in that movie, are they like made for the movie, or they're just
they're all, except for I think
there's a couple of originals, but I think aren't a lot of them just like classic there's genre songs?
It's like a mix of like the Guantanamera's in there, and like Quiereme Mucho and some other stuff is like songs that are just like standards, but then there's also like the songs that are made for the soundtrack. And actually, Gus, it was Accidental Mambo was the song that I was thinking of, not Sunny Ray. That's the one I like. I like that song better than Sunny Ray, but that's the one that's like a minute and a half long. And it just comes. It starts off with like da 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 da. It's like really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it just ends, and you're like, "Holy shit!"
Dude, that just sounded like the intro to Cowboy Bebop.
That Cowboy Bebop song is dope as fuck too, though.
The Seatbelts, man, the Japanese jazz band, they're just fucking ridiculous too.
Yeah, man.
Man, I'm just taking a little deep dive into Armando Sante's.
So technically, the last two,
poor guy's falling off, man.
The last two movies we picked were pretty much similar, just that one's American blues and the other one's Latin jazz.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Gotta love that stuff, man. It's because we're musicians. That's why.
Fucking.
I'm not. That's why all my stuff was like pop music.
I actually played. I played a song from this soundtrack, man. From Mambo Kings. I played. What was it? Mambo Caliente. That song. I played it for this music school that I used to go to. We played it for like a show, or whatever. I played the guitar part or the bass part or whatever. So it was a fun song to play and stuff. And it was fast as hell, man. It was like fast mambo shit. I was like, holy shit. But
I'm pretty sure we played Mambo Caliente at FIU.
Yeah, we did. Beautiful Maria, My Soul also. Yeah. We did that Latin show, whatever. I remember that. That's right. So yeah, we got those jams in marching band in college also. So
yeah.
You know what movie? This is like an honorable mention. I didn't think of this earlier, but have you guys ever heard the soundtrack to Life Aquatic?
I've heard it's on one of the top lists of soundtracks stuff. I just never heard it.
It's a Brazilian guitarist who plays like Brazilian style guitar, Seu Jorge, and he does David Bowie covers throughout the entire movie.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Steve Zissou.
I was gonna mention an honorable mention earlier, which was gonna be the Natural Born Killers soundtrack that was curated by Trent Reznor. So it was cool because Oliver Stone had like that, foresight of like, I want to make this movie about this crazy killer Bonnie and Clyde combo, whatever, and I'm gonna get this guy who makes the fucking hardest, some of the hardest like industrial sounding shit to be our music guy, and he did the same thing that kind of like the RZA. He only used like one of his own songs. The Perfect Drug was like the song that he made for that soundtrack, I think, maybe one other song, but everything else is Trent Reznor is a music fan first, you know, so he was the same thing. He was playing with stuff that you wouldn't expect him to be kind of associated with, but that was his opportunity to be like, well, I also like this band, you know, just because I play this kind of music, I don't like that kind of music, that kind of stuff. So I wanted to mention that earlier. I forgot, but good soundtrack.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, and then shout out to like all the classic '80s movies with classic soundtracks too, because those are deep in my heart. Anyways, it's been fun. We've been at this for over an hour now. Gianni, thank you so much for coming on the show. Love to have you back when we do our next musical episode, or even if you want to come on and do an episode that's not a musical episode.
Yeah, man, I'm down.
We still got video game soundtracks. We still got the musical genre.
I would love to do an era/genre top 5 list, like 90s grunge, like 80s metal. Top 5 albums, not songs, albums.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could do songs too. Like that's not a that's not especially because let's be honest, in the 1990s, there's a lot of one-hit wonders out there that had really good songs that just didn't have a great album or a great career after.
Most of them were I forget the measure that they use. It's like all the same shit. It's all correlated by like the same kind of music.
The same 3 chords?
Same 3. Nah, what are they? What is it? I can't remember what it was. I'm really bad with that stuff.
I'm not really sure what you're talking about, bro.
The fucking
progressions.
Not progressions. The like I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, it's not important right now.
It's not important.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far, if you like what you saw, then go ahead and leave us a comment on Facebook. Hit the like button on YouTube. If you want to keep on watching, hit the subscribe button. I don't know what Twitch does. I don't know how that works.
You don't know how to Twitch.
If you're on Twitch, I'm assuming this was the only episode on our feed. You can go ahead. You can check out our back episodes. We've been streaming throughout the quarantine. All those episodes are available on YouTube. And our entire catalog is available on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, waxpodcast.com. Take your pick. Any one of those will do.
All right.
See you later, Sith heads.